What did the angels do when they saw Jesus on the cross? Did heaven tremble when the Son of God hung in agony? Did the mighty angels, witnesses of eternity, dare intervene? Or did they watch in stunned silence as mercy and justice collided in violent, unimaginable suffering? For the first time, even the eternal warriors of God faced a scene they could not control, witnessing the Creator bleed, suffer, and die for humanity's sin. Angels are not the cherubic, winged figures of Christmas cards. No, brother, the Bible portrays them as powerful, intelligent, and utterly loyal beings, ministers of God sent to serve those who inherit salvation. Imagine the most devoted and capable servants, but with supernatural strength and insight. When the prophet Isaiah had his vision, he described the seraphim, 6 wings each, calling out, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts," so loudly that the temple shook. Angels have worshiped God from eternity, long before the world began. In Job 38:7, all the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy at creation. They were the VIP witnesses of the birth of the universe. Yet angels do not know everything. They are curious and constantly learning. 1 Peter 1:12 tells us there are things angels long to understand, truths they desire to examine. They had seen Adam and Eve expelled, Noah building the ark, Daniel in the lion's den. They had witnessed God's justice, mercy, and power across millennia, but nothing in all their existence prepared them for what they were about to see. For eternity, they had worshiped the Son of God. They knew him as the eternal Word, the creator of all things. Imagine their astonishment when that same divine being became a child in Bethlehem. Luke 2 tells us the angels themselves announced his birth, proclaiming glory to God in the highest to shepherds. For 33 years, the angels had watched him love, grow, and minister among humans. They observed miracles, healings, and teachings with awe. But now the hour approached that no angel had ever witnessed before. The Son of God, whom they had served and adored for eternity, would suffer and die, a humiliating, excruciating death on a Roman cross. They knew the prophecies, Daniel 9:26, Isaiah 53, Psalm 22. Yet prophecy is one thing, seeing it unfold in real time is another. The tension in heaven must have been unbearable. The angels had seen empires rise and fall, the faithful and unfaithful act. The prophets declare God's plans. But this was different. The Messiah had come, not as a conquering king, but as a vulnerable man, fully God and fully human. From the Annunciation to Mary, to the ministry in Galilee, angels had been present, observing and assisting at key moments. When Jesus was tempted in the wilderness, Mark 1:13 tells us the angels ministered to him, but now in his final hours, the scenario had changed. In Gethsemane, the weight of the world fell upon him. Luke 22:44 records that Jesus prayed in agony, his sweat like drops of blood. Then an angel came to strengthen him. Only one angel. Imagine the scene. Millions of angels ready to intervene, yet restrained. Heaven watched in tense silence, the Almighty strengthened but not rescued. This was the first moment in history where angels saw the Creator suffer, and they could do nothing beyond witnessing. The arrest, the trial, the mocking, the scourging, all unfolded before heavenly eyes. Angels who had shut lions' mouths for Daniel and opened prison doors for apostles had no orders to act. Pilate, the Roman governor, questioned Jesus, yet the angels saw their king answer nothing, silent before false accusations. One word could have destroyed the oppressors, one command could have summoned legions of angels, but the heavenly directive was clear: observe, do not interfere. At the cross, prophecy came alive before the angels. Isaiah 53:5 and Psalm 22:16 were not abstract words, they were reality. Each lash, each nail, each drop of blood fulfilled God's perfect plan. And yet in the midst of agony, Jesus' first words were not of vengeance, but mercy. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Heaven witnessed mercy beyond comprehension. The division of garments, the crown of thorns, the taunts, they all unfolded, and the angels understood the paradox. Omnipotent power expressed through apparent weakness. Darkness fell over the land from noon until 3. Not a natural eclipse, but supernatural intervention, marking the Son of God bearing humanity's sin. The angels watched the unthinkable. the Father turning away from the Son, the perfect communion of the Trinity interrupted by human sin. And at the ninth hour, Jesus cried out, "Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani? My God, why have you forsaken me?" Heaven held its breath as the eternal Word experienced the separation we deserve. The physical suffering continued. "I thirst," a symbol of his humanity and his mission to bring living water to the world. And then, with finality, "It is finished." Angels understood immediately. The debt of humanity's sin had been paid in full. Luke 23:46 records, "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." Communion with the Father restored, the work of salvation complete. The consequences of this moment rippled through creation. The veil of the temple tore, signaling that access to God was now open for all. The earth shook, rocks split, and graves opened, events that angels watched with awe. Matthew 27:52-53 tells us that many saints were raised from the dead, a preview of the resurrection to come. Even Roman soldiers and the centurion recognized the divine reality unfolding. Truly, this was the Son of God. The angels observed the burial, where Joseph of Arimathea and Nicodemus honored Jesus with spices and linen following Jewish customs, yet unknowingly fulfilling prophecy. They waited in silence through the Sabbath, knowing the promise of resurrection, but unaware of the exact moment it would occur. For the angels, this was the longest Saturday in history. Heaven itself held its breath. Then in the early hours of Sunday, the heavenly directive came. Matthew 28:2 recounts the angel descending, rolling the stone away and sitting upon it. The angels didn't resurrect Jesus, that was God's power, but they were the first to proclaim the triumph. He is not here, he is risen, as he said. Heaven erupted in celebration, announcing victory over death for the first time in history. The angels now had a new role, messenger and guide. They greeted Mary Magdalene and the other women at the tomb, declaring the resurrection and sending them to tell the disciples. The angels had watched silence, suffering, and death, and now they became the heralds of the greatest victory in the universe. The risen Christ appeared to Mary Magdalene, to the disciples, to Thomas, to 500 others, and to his brother James. Angels observed these appearances, understanding the significance of the glorified body and the confirmation of prophecy. Finally, the angels witnessed the ascension, the triumphant return of Jesus to heaven. They celebrated the completion of the mission while continuing to minister, guide, and prepare for the day of his promised return. So what did the angels do while the Son of God was on the cross? They obeyed. They waited. They witnessed suffering beyond comprehension. They watched in silent awe, unable to intervene, yet knowing the significance of every moment. They saw mercy triumph over justice, love triumph over sin, and salvation purchased at the ultimate cost. And when the moment of victory came, they proclaimed it.